Back now on Triad today, and we always like to have this guest here because she's just delightful, and she is a fountain of information. Can you say that, or a wealth of information?
I'm not sure.
Am I mixing my metaphors? Well, anyway, Lorelei Elkins is here, and she's Regional Program Coordinator for Triad Air Awareness. Welcome back, dear.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's been really hot lately. I don't have to tell the audience that. I don't care whether the clouds are overhead or not. It's been hot. Does that mean that there's a greater chance that there's going to be higher pollution levels as it gets hotter?
As it gets hotter, we're going to see more, greater levels of ground level ozone. Ground level ozone, you have to have heat and sunlight to form, unlike the particle pollution, which can be
from
high
a factory
or low
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have factory and emissions and whatever, but you're saying, so tell me what you mean by ground level.
It's the same ozone that we have in the, the whole problem with the ozone hole and all that. Same stuff, except that occurs in the stratosphere. It occurs naturally up there. We want it up there. But when ground level ozone occurs, we breathe it in. It's from human activity, and it can be very damaging to the lungs and the respiratory system.
To anybody, or just people that, if people already have COPD or asthma problems, obviously, but are you saying that just a normally healthy person, that this is not good for them either?
There's a sensitive group population which is going to experience some symptoms before the general population. But if the levels get high enough, then just you and I and everybody else who thinks they're not in the sensitive group is going to experience a problem too. Maybe just a tightness of the chest or shortness of breath if they're physically active outside. I tend to notice it when the ozone levels are high, stinging in my eyes. And it's actually, since it's a caustic gas, it actually burns the tissue of your eyes and your lungs.
Oh my God, and this is just because it's hot outdoors and there's this ground level ozone?
Well, you have to have the emissions that contribute to the pollution in the first place. So those emissions are primarily from cars and trucks and power generation and mobile sources.
How do we reduce those? Because I cut you off when you were saying lawnmowers. People might laugh at that and say, well, she must be joking, but you're not joking about lawnmowers.
Not joking. Lawnmowers happen to be one of the most polluting engines that we have out there. There's really no regulations until recently, and people didn't pay much attention to how much pollution their lawnmower was spitting out. But Saturday morning, everybody cranks up the lawnmower and mows.
Well, you're right.
Grass.
I didn't think about that. But that awful looking, whether you have the mixture or whether it's straight, you get this awful looking smoke. When you start, I didn't think about that. Energy tips for the road, because we all are, not all of us, but a lot of us are thinking of going on the road for the summer. You sent me an email and says something like, aggressive driving can indirectly result in pollution or bad for the environment. What in the heck were you talking about?
Well, if you think about it, since our pollution is from mobile sources, all of these emissions that are contributing to the problem, then the best thing you can do is cut down on your driving, or have the most fuel-efficient vehicle you could possibly use, or have driving behaviors that reduce the emissions that are contributing to.
So don't weave in and out and gun it and speed.
Yes, aggressive driving. And
I didn't think about that.
I think we're all guilty of it, but it's just slowing down just a little, not being real slow on the highway, and not braking so much.
Now, are you pulling my leg on this? The level of inflation of tires, what are you talking about with it?
Yes, there's a lot of maintenance things you can do to your car to get more efficient fuel use. And if your car's behaving more efficiently, it's going to put fewer emissions into the atmosphere. So make sure you have the proper tire level, the air level in your tires.
Right.
And take out that extra weight you have in the trunk, that box of tools that you've been carrying around there, because all of this adds up to increased fuel use.
And then carpooling and van pooling. I know you're a big advocate on that. Why?
Mm-hmm. Well, every time you double some people up in the car, that's one less car on the road, and those are...
I was doubled up in a car one time, but I don't really want to get into that. So when you have more people, Richard, like that out there, when you have more people in the car, then it's better for the environment.
Sure, carpooling, we've been talking about it for 20, 30, 40 years. Back in World War II, they were talking about it. Carpool, it's good for the environment, it's good for your pocketbook, good for the wallet, and it's good for air quality as well.
Well, of course, the best thing for that, too, is to ride the PART bus. If you go to, and we're going to give this, I might as well give it now, www.partnc.org and www.triadair.org. The first one I gave you on PART, of course, can get you to the Triad Air website, but what I was getting ready to say is that the PART website will tell you all about the schedules and the bus schedules. I tell you what, that will really save money and cut down on pollution, and it's convenient, and you can take a nap or work on your computer or whatever. So ride the PART bus. That's a good way of doing it. Lorelei, have a good summer.
Thank you. You too, Jim.
All right, my dear.